What's going on, Vikings fans? Welcome to Purple and Gold Bars. I'm your host, Supreme. Week 2's in the books, and we have another power rankings for you. I got power rankings done a little bit different than others. I have 4 different tiers. I have the basements, the mid-tier, chasing for glory, and then the elite. If you want a full description of what type of team falls in each category, check out my Week 1 power rankings. So let's get right into it. There's been a bit of movement between the basement and the mid-tier teams after this week's games. Pause for a moment to see which teams fall into each bracket. While you're at it, leave a comment and let me know if these teams belong where they're ranked. Some noticeable moves here are the Dolphins and Jags falling into the basement due to injuries as well as some regression, or at the very least stalling. The Patriots and Raiders moved out of Mama's basement this week, and the Eagles and Rams fall into the mid-tier. That brings us to the top 12 teams in the NFL. At number 12, I have the LA Chargers. After 2 old-school run-first football games, they remain undefeated. With Jim Harbaugh coming in, they feel like a completely different team. He is changing the culture and bringing in consistency to foster growth as well as create a positive environment for Justin Herbert to develop in. Right out of the gates, Jim Harbaugh's style of football has the Chargers looking like a top 12 team after 2 weeks. At number 11, I have the Cowboys. And just like that, the Cowboys are in playoff form with a horrible loss to the Saints. With that loss, they dropped to 11, where in my opinion, they belong as a gatekeeper to those teams that are striving to climb out of the mid-tier. At number 10, the Ravens. With an 0-2 start, it doesn't look good, but the thing the Ravens have in spades is a strong gimmick/scheme. They do a great job of catching teams off guard. Before you know it, they're up 2 or more scores, which makes them a dangerous gatekeeper for those teams wanting to break into the top 10. At number 9, the Seahawks, another 2-0 team that has been winning games in a way that some may call boring, but they have put together 2 solid wins to start the year. Geno Smith has put up amazing stats en route to these wins. At number 8, the Vikings. They make the biggest jump on my power rankings this week, jumping from the bottom of the mid-tier to 8th overall. Sam Darnold is the talk of the town after putting in 2 stellar performances, the latest coming against one of the best teams in football. The Vikings have quietly put together an extremely talented roster with brilliant coaching on both offense and defense. They are playing some of the best football in the league after 2 weeks. I anticipate these Vikings to have some ups and downs since growing pains still continue to be a factor. Regardless, they have proven to be a top 10 team. At number 7, I have the Saints. After an impressive victory against a very talented gatekeeper in the Cowboys, the Saints jumped from 12th on my ranking to 7th. Clint Kubiak has completely transformed this offense, and Derek Carr and Alvin Kamara are thriving in it. Kamara had a massive game with 4 TDs, and Derek Carr was wheeling and dealing out there. I'm excited that the Saints have climbed up in these rankings. At number 6, I have the San Francisco 49ers. But Supreme, they lost to the Vikings. So why are they ranked higher? What the heck? Well, regardless of the whooping my team put on them this week, I do realize that they are still a very dangerous team and one of the best rosters in football. Despite CMC going on IR and Debo missing a few weeks with a calf strain, I have no doubt that the 49ers will continue to play and win games because good teams like them don't roll over after a loss like that, but instead come back stronger. At number 5, I have the Lions. The Lions had a tough playoff-like game versus the surging Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and despite losing like the 49ers, They also have a top roster, and I expect them to take out their frustrations on the poor teams they face in the upcoming weeks. So, for the same reasoning as the 49ers, they don't drop too far in the rankings. At number 4, I have the Texans. They stay in the same spot after struggling to win against a Bears team that I have set as the gatekeeper for the teams trying to get out of the basement. After a middling performance, they stay at number 4. This brings us to the last bracket, the elite teams in the league. These teams have found ways to win games and have proven to be, in my opinion, the top 3 teams in the league. At number 3, we have the Bucks. After a statement win in Detroit, Baker Mayfield and the Bucks break into the top tier of NFL teams. At number 2, we have the Bills. They keep winning, and despite having lost key players during the offseason, as well as having a bunch of new sprinkled all over their team, they still continue to win where most teams would struggle. For that reason, the Bills, after a dominant performance, rise to second overall. At number 1, I have the Chiefs. They, like the rest of these elite teams, continue to find ways to win, which is what great teams do when they arguably should have lost. That, combined with their championship pedigree, seal them the top spot in the NFL. Well, there you have it. Those are my power rankings after week 2 in the NFL. What do you think of my rankings? Do you think the teams in the top 12 belong where they belong? Don't hesitate to leave me a comment and let me know where you think these teams belong, as well as, if you've made it this far in the video, let me know which team is your dark horse Super Bowl contender. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more Vikings videos and to catch next week's power rankings. And until next time, Skol Vikings!